Most people want to eliminate uncertainty. They want predictable outcomes, controlled environments, and guaranteed results. But the reality is, upside potential lives in uncertainty. Positive variance maxing is the art of designing your life so that randomness benefits you as opposed to breaking you. We want to expose ourselves to serendipity. We want to position ourselves so that chaos works in our favor. Let's get into it. Positive variance maxing is the practice of increasing your exposure to what we call beneficial randomness. Now, to take this out of theory, beneficial randomness is literally any good event or positive outcome that we might want to optimize for. This could be meeting the right spouse. This could be selling your company for a large sum of money. This could be running into an old friend at a supermarket. If it falls into the category of positive and random, we want to optimize for these kinds of events in our lives, and that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. So at its core, variance measures how much outcomes fluctuate around the average. In life, it represents the range of possible results that your actions can generate. Now, we could lump the spectrum of activities into two separate categories, one being low variance activities, the other being high variance activities. Low variance activities generate predictable outcomes. Think about your 9 to 5 or your daily routine. It's predictable, it's repeatable. Now, high variance activities generate unpredictable outcomes. Think about entrepreneurship, networking, publishing something online, any kind of activity that can generate a result that was unexpected. And now this segues nicely into what we call the spectrum of possibility. So the spectrum of possibility is just that, right? It is the range of outcomes your actions can realistically produce. So when you choose low variance activities, you're effectively choosing a narrow band of predictable outcomes. So to make this concrete, in a 9 to 5 job, right? And just to take a step back, I worked at Deloitte for almost 2 years. I know that 9 to 5 life. I respect it, and I commend the people that do that to make their living. It's an honest way to make a living for yourself. So this is not a dig at anybody that lives that life. This is merely an example. So in a 9 to 5 job, you're going to earn roughly the same amount every year. Your day-to-day life rarely changes in structure. And lastly, but most importantly, your exposure to serendipity, luck, leverage, exponential upside is severely limited. So low variance activities, while they do provide stability, they cost you possibility. Now let's contrast the low variance stable path of a 9 to 5 job with the high variance path of entrepreneurship. Now, please keep this in mind. The downside potential of any high variance path is going to be significantly higher because by definition, it is more unpredictable. But every successful entrepreneur leverages hedging methodologies in order to mitigate the downside potential. Now, let's think about the spectrum of possibility within entrepreneurship. So, one, you could lose everything. But as I said, no good entrepreneur is going to set it up to where they can lose everything, right? You're going to manage that downside, manage that risk. Or you could sell your company or get a large contract that could potentially allow you to retire. It could change the course of your life. We call these positive black swans. Now, think about the 9 to 5 life. You can get your salary paid to you on a biweekly basis, or you could get your salary paid to you on a biweekly basis. And I'm not knocking that life. I'm just saying if we compare and contrast the range of possibilities, you stand to gain significantly more by operating in the realm of entrepreneurship. And I'm not saying go ahead and quit your 9 to 5 job. I'm saying increase your exposure to positive black swans or unpredictable wins that change everything. So our goal here is to identify bets that have a high potential upside and a survivable downside. For example, if I start a company with $500, I stand to lose $500. My downside is therefore capped. I cannot lose more than $500. But the potential upside is unlimited. I could meet someone in my network that could change the course of my career. The company might be successful and I could sell it for a large sum of money. Do you see what I'm getting at? So you place bets where we know the downside, meaning the worst case scenario is I lose 500 bucks. So what? The best case scenario is I sell the company for a large sum of money, or I meet someone in my network that helps me out a lot, or say I just learn a lot about business. So you're effectively taking on a minimal amount of risk, and that's the best way to think about business, in my opinion. So, just to hammer this home, positive variance is engineered through asymmetry. And when something is asymmetric, we're speaking to the fact that it is imbalanced, meaning the cost, right, which you stand to lose relative to the benefit, right? You've heard of a cost benefit ratio. The cost relative to the benefit is favorable. What you stand to gain drastically supersedes what you stand to lose. So that's how we want to make good business decisions. And there are four levers of positive variance that I'm going to walk you through briefly. Number one is exposure. So we want to increase the probability that luck occurs in our lives. And let's just ask the question, what is luck? Well, luck is a positive outcome that was unanticipated, right? And with positive variance maxing, we're trying to increase the odds of just such an event occurring, a positive or beneficial outcome that we didn't expect. And we do this by engaging in realms where the possibilities are unlimited and the costs are low. So start a company, but keep it low cost. Create content, right? Do this several times per week, and this could lead to an awesome opportunity. Simply go out and network with people, meet individuals, right? Just engaging in these realms of unlimited possibility in a low cost way is a great way to increase your exposure to luck. Next is velocity. So we want to perform more experiments per unit of time. Next is leverage. We want to use code, media, capital, and people. And when I say use people, I mean employ people, help them achieve their goals as they help you achieve your goals. But we want to use these levers of leverage to amplify outputs. And then lastly is faith. We need to act without needing certainty. We need to cooperate with uncertainty. Alrighty, gang, that's all I had. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you like this kind of stuff, definitely check out Compound School. This is a 90-day program that's going to take you from where you are today to your first paying customer for your online business. Like, subscribe, and again, holla at your boy.